Right, here we go. Week four. Week four. So I am Wesley Yates, and this is our financial freedom strategy. And here we go. So let's run through the strategy real quick, and I'm excited. Let's jump right into it. So we are using Robinhood. If you haven't signed up for Robinhood before, there's the link right there. I think that gets you we both get a free stock for helping each other be on Robinhood. Yay. The tool that I mainly use is Snowball Analytics. That helps us track when we're getting paid, our future goals, all kinds of other stuff to do research. If you want that, there you go right there. And if you ever want to check and see how our portfolio is doing for this project, there's a direct link right to that, and you can click on that and see. So don't know how to be more transparent than that. Real quick, we're going to run through this fast. Phase one, that's where we're at right now. We have picked our 5 weekly payers, and we're looking for those to have an average dividend yield above 35%. We really want to make sure those yields are stable or increasing. There are a lot out there that have been dropping consistently over time, and I don't want to get caught into those that might not ever bounce back. So look into that. If you feel it's a specific industry thing, then I can understand, but just be cautious, do your research, and make sure you're picking the ones that really, really, really meet your goals. If you want to see the ones that I've picked, you can click right here, and that'll take you to our list of all the ones that we've got going right here. I have finally, sorry, I've been lazy, and finally put all the links direct to the ETFs, the providers page. So you can click on those, read about them. I encourage you to do that. These are not the only 20 that work. There are a lot more. I've actually found a long list. Maybe next week I'll go through this list with y'all and show y'all what screening I do, what am I really looking at before I will say, hey, this ETF looks promising. And yes, we need to do more research on them. So there's a lot more here that I'm going to go through and look at those and might add some of these to our weekly stocks that would work. All right, we've got some of these on here that are manual buys, some are reoccurring. That's more of the strategy of how automated do you want this portfolio for you to be. All right, so to finish up phase one, you're going to be buying weekly pairs evenly per dollar. There are ETFs out there that qualify, but they can only be bought by share. And when a share price is anywhere from 20 to 60 to upwards, not everybody has the financial means to be able to buy a full share evenly with all the others. Not saying that won't work. If you can and that works for you, great. For me, my main strategy isn't necessarily just what we're buying, but also how we're buying. Automate it as much as I can. Go live your life, build your little money-making machine, and here we go. So we're starting this off with an example of $5 a day into our weekly stocks, and that's really where I'm at. A lot of people have told me I didn't think I could do this with as little as $5 a day. I thought you had to have a lot of money to really get going in investing. So I appreciate those that have said that, and that's exactly right. A little something added up over consistent measurements, over consistent investments, that consistency over time is key, especially when you got dividends coming in, because that helps that compounding interest really go into effect. So once we get our dividends rolling in, we will diversify into new weekly pairs until we have about 10 weekly pairs, and then we're really going to rock and roll until we get to about $75 a week in dividends. That'll be enough money for us to move into phase two and start rocking and rolling and picking those 10 monthly pairs and then buying into evenly of those. All right. I will be using margin. Margin is not something that you have to use. We will probably go over to that more and more and more as we get closer there. Robinhood requires you to have a minimum of an account value of $2,000 before they will even let you use margin. So we'll have a bit doing $25 a week, $5 a day. We got a bit before our value gets to that point. So let's jump into it. I've already gone over the stocks that we got. We got a good roundabout of what we're looking at, some in Google, some in Robinhood, some in tech, a lot in tech actually, quite a bit in AI and semiconductors, a lot in crypto, which everyone knows crypto and tech are both down right now. If you've been paying attention to the market this week, boy, if we thought last week was a down week, this one has been a doozy. But I will say, that is why the difference in strategies really, really matter. If you were an equity buyer, you were probably hurting this week, but we're dividend buyers. We're buying cash flow. And all I look at that is when I have a down day or a down week, hey, I bought on a discount. I bought cash flow on a discount. That's what I tell myself to look at that and go, sweet. If I know it's going to swing back around, which it does, we'll be good to go, and those shares will be worth even more, and those yields will be paying out even higher. So sweet, we're buying cash flow at a discount. We do have some of the monthlies here. I will put more on this as well. If y'all have any recommendation of any ETFs that are weekly payer, or some are even like bi-weekly or daily payers that have a good steady yield above 35% on average, then hit them up, throw me in here, comment on them. I'll research them, and we'll do a day of just researching stocks so that we can look at those together and see. Before we really get into how our portfolio is done this week, I do want to go over this disclaimer real quick. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. I am simply showing you what I am doing for my family. What am I doing for my kids? What are we doing with our money? So I encourage anybody, the only advice I will give you is do your own research. Go read your books, listen to your podcast. If you believe in hiring a financial advisor, good on you, go ahead. The only one I'm really going to trust is me. So, with that being said, this is not advice. This is just me sharing, hey, this is what I'm doing. If you find this to be beneficial and you want to join the journey and ride along with me, fantastic, awesome. Let's buckle up and let's have some fun. So, with that being said, let's jump right into our portfolio for the week and pull up my daughter. So here we go. Come on, Robinhood, you can do it. All right, we got a glitch here. I bet she wishes she had $28,000 in her account. One day, we will get her there. All right, here we go. Almost. There we go. All right, so I already got her $25 in there for this week. And then we can see there's an extra $1.23. So we have made it over $1 in profit threshold. Woohoo! That's a big thing. I'll show you what we're going to do with that dollar right now. We're not going to use that first dollar to diversify yet. We're going to wait until we're averaging $5 a week in dividends before we diversify. So we are going to put that into the one of the other our current ones. So let's jump ahead. I've got my weekly tracker here. Before I go any further, I do want to say if you're watching this video and you click below in the description at the very bottom, I'm dropping all the links. So you'll see anything that you've seen on here, minus my disclaimer. You will see all of those links to any tools that you want to use. So the strategy, the stocks that I'm picking, the stocks that I'm researching, as well as the tracking tool that I'm using. So all of that will be down below so that you can get going. Even the links for Robinhood and all of that, you can get down there. So all free, not charging anything. If you use my links to sign up, that's all the payment that I'm going to get, and that's coming from Robinhood and Snowball, not y'all. Just wanted to, this is my way of giving back. I hope y'all find some use of it. And, you know, if you want to give me that like or share or subscribe, cool, thank you. Then YouTube can pay me. Y'all don't need to pay me. Y'all need to put your money to work for you. That's what I want. Put your money work to you. Go live free. Go enjoy life. That's what we want. So, enough ranting and rambling. Let's jump into it. So, we're going to start at the top. Blocks. Let's see how blocks did this week. Let's go to the week. And overall, we actually had an up week for blocks. So, fantastic. I thought everything was down, but we got that one that is up. So, we're going into, we still got our, got a nice little pending dividend. And we've got our $1 and going down to our history. And we're going to look at what happened this last week. So it looks like this last week ran from the 20th through the 24th. So we're up above here. So $1, $2, $3, $4, $5 were invested, $1 each day. And it looks like we got 6 cents from our dividend payments this week. So I'm going to add that right there. Blocks, we invested another $5. Boom, that was for last week. And then it paid out 6 cents. And sweet. So if you look at that, went up from last week. We're doing good. And we're ready to go. And it looks like it's going to go up again for next week. Fantastic. So nothing more to do there. Let's move in to the next one. Come on. Doo-doo-doo. There we go. Coney. And for this week, it looks like Coney was down, but not much, not by much, 0.05%, not too bad. But when you're following already a down week, you know, gonna have to be pretty significantly down on that. Looks like we got some good. Let's go the 20th. We got our, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And look at that. We got a nice dividend payment. So let's add those. This was for Coney. I'm just going to drag this down so I don't have to type that. And what was that? 16 cents? Let me double check. 18. Ooh, even better. Oh, did that wrong. 0.18. There we go. I'll delete that so I don't confuse myself. So nice. That one jumped up quite a bit this week. So let's keep rocking and rolling. So everything's looking good. They haven't declared what they're going to pay yet. So for next week. So it's still a mystery. Next one is our good old Who. Makes me think of the song Who Are You? And for the week, Robinhood is, wow, that might be our biggest one down. 7%, 7.7%. Let's see if it still paid though. I bet it did. There we go. So this one is a manual buy. And that's why you see it's only 5 for the week. That went in on the 19th, which was Sunday, which actually went through the 20th. That's when we put it in for last week. And 0.13. So we got our 5. And we got our 13 cents. There we go. We also need to make sure we put in our order for Robinhood for next week. So should have done that on the first screen. I don't have these memorized yet, which ones are manual, which ones are not. But here we go. So I'm going right back in the hood. I'm putting in my buy order by dollars. We're doing 5 for the week, so we don't have to get in here every day. If you want to come in here every day and just do a dollar buy each day and watch these manual buyings, absolutely recommend doing that. Try to find that lowest point of each day, or when you have time, you want to do that dollar cost averaging. This would basically be an example of weekly averaging. So, but nonetheless, it's still doing the same thing. And if I can catch that button, it keeps moving on me. It's a moving target. And boom, we're queued for Monday. So we're good to go. We can go on to the next one. All right. Sorry, y'all. I wish Robinhood was a little quicker on this uploading screen. But all right, TSII. Now, I do remember that this one is a manual. All right, so what have we done this week? We have gone down. Oh, I lied. That one's your biggest loss, 22% down. But let's see if it did what we needed it to do. Does it pay us? Woo! And that's what I did wrong right there. I didn't need to hit the history because it's all right there in that on these weekly payers. You don't even have to click the history because it shows you like the last, I think, 3 transactions. Give me a second. I'll get back there. And I'll show you. So on these right here, it'll show you down in the history the last 2, 3, no, it's only 2 here, transactions. So there's our buy for the week. There's our 17 cents for the week. So we're at TSII. We did our buy, and we got 17 cents. So it was our biggest loser. Well, hold on. Let's not speak too soon. Let's go and check out utility. But first, let's put in our buy. So let's go to that. Dollar buy. Where's my $5 automated? There we go. $5. Review order and buy. Wait till we get our queued. All right, we're queued. We're good. Last but not least, we have got our 5th and final one, Mr. Utility. Ulti. I guess that would be more Ulti. I'm adding an I in there. Ulti. So, what did Ulti do this week? Negative 2%. So, yep, that other one was the biggest loser. So, now, we have multiple, so we can see our dividend right there. $1 each day, 0.14. So I'm going to go in here. We added $5 to this week. That was a daily and 0.14. So something I want to put in here, point out right here, is our biggest loser was our second biggest payer. That's why I'm not scared of a down week. I bought on a discount. I bought these shares on a discount. And I'll show you on Snowball Analytics where this really gets into, which are terms of today are going to be dollar cost averaging. And so you'll actually get to see that. But we got paid. So now that we still got a total of $1.21, which should be what is still in here. Let's go to our back to our main portfolio. So we do have that dollar. Remember, the minimum we can buy in Robinhood is $1 when you're buying by dollars, and we can put it in there. So we're going to put that full dollar into one of these stocks. Now, I am a weirdo. You could technically invest the full $1.23 if you wanted to. I'm a weirdo. I like that little bit of OCD that I want an even dollar invested into each one of these. You can hate me if you want. I'll laugh. I don't care. So what I'm thinking that would be wise for us to do is looking at which one of these we got the biggest loss on. Because if the goal is to buy the dip, then I want to look at total return. So I'm going to look at total return, and I'm going to buy the one that to date we've lost the most on. All right, and that does look like it's going to be TSII. So what we're going to do is we're going into TSII, and we're going to buy that extra dollar of dividends into TSII. So that's what we're going to do. That's where we're going to put it. So now I'll probably balance this out to try to keep everything invested. So let's say we get another dollar, our next dollar, I probably won't put into TSII because we just did that. I want to keep my investments as even as possible, at least for right now. Later on, when we get into phase 2, later into phase 3, then, hey, we can keep that. We can kind of just buy the dips and reinvest where we see fit. But for right now, we're going to try to keep it as even as possible. So that's it. That's all the investing we're going to do today. I am so sorry. It is so boring. Most of the work is done with automation, which y'all might say, oh, I say yay. So here we go. We're moving into how are we looking? So we've already reinvested that dollar. We're good there. Oh, let's put that on our tracker so we can know. So I got that extra plus 1 right here. So we got 16 in that. I'm going to go ahead and put that in there. I know it's not going in until next week, but I do want to make sure that I don't forget that. I got a bad memory, so I'm going to do this. So jumping into looking at our snowball, this just synced for today. So we're still at a 63.9% passive income. That is phenomenal. I don't really care about total profits and total gains because I'm not ever selling. So I'm holding forever, and we're going to continue to ride the cash flow. Don't really have any big gainers, mostly losers, which right now with everything going on with the Iran war, if you want to call it a war, that's affecting a lot of the market. And everyone's a little scared and skeptical of what's going on. That's fine. It'll bounce back, and when it does, we'll have just that many more shares with all this discount. That's what I'm going to call it right now. So we got quite a bit of those going through, and looks like our dividends received is starting to, we're just starting there, and we're rocking and rolling. You can see we got about 1.9 declared for the month of July. We only got one more week of July. So, wow, we've already been doing this for almost a full week. So let's keep rocking and rolling. As you can see, we're still looking at our goal. We haven't really made it yet. We're hopefully getting that momentum, but we've got some time. So let's keep rocking and rolling. We can see what's coming up. Let's go ahead and look at our dividend calendar so that we can see when we're going to be getting paid. So it looks like right now we're making an annual of $41. We're making a lot of money here. That will take off soon enough. So let's keep watching it, and looks like we got a paycheck. Now, this TSII looks like it did jump over to that Thursday. Yes, I have a few weird OCDs. As if y'all remember on the tracker, I cared about which day these were. Actually, this would be a better one. I cared which day these paid out, and I wanted one that paid each day of the week. And I explained that doesn't necessarily matter. You're looking at this as a culmination of a week. So that's why, because these will change. A holiday could throw it off. They have the ability to change what days these pay out on to their liking. There's been some that I've invested in that were monthly payers when I originally bought into them, and then they became weekly payers, not long after that. So that kind of stuff can happen. If you're that OCD and you want to keep trading and moving and all of that just so you can have one each day, that's fine. My thoughts are I would rather just on my next look for another one that paid Wednesday. So I'm not going to worry about it as long as we're getting paid weekly. I mean, I don't know about most jobs. They don't pay daily either. So if you got a job that pays daily, awesome. I don't. I get paid monthly. So there we go. That's it. There's where we're getting paid coming up. Looks like we're going to have a good week. Everything looks like it's still going up. and rocking and rolling. Who has this weird? I've noticed this pattern with who. If you look at it, we had a low week, a high week. So now it looks like we're having another low week. But comparative to that, it's still more. So, hey, I'll take it. We've got increasing dividends total for each week. As you can see, looking back at that, each week we've gotten a little bit more, a little bit more. So fantastic. And the law of percentages, we're really taking off. We've already seen our goal, but just so y'all can see, I haven't changed anything. We're trying to make $1,000 a week, which is $52,000 a year. And $100 per month is about what we're investing. Really, it's more like, what was that, 25 times 4.3, whatever that would be. Was it 108, something like that? But anywho, that's where we're at. This is what we're looking at. We've got a long journey. We'll be doing this for, I guess, 8 years. Let's see if we can't do it faster. Now, if my kiddos start working and they want to put more money into this, they get a birthday present, they get something like that, and they get money and they want to put more into here, you're going to see that in here. But this is for anyone. You can follow the strategy. You don't have to be exact to the exact dollar amounts or even these exact stocks. Find what works for you. So that's really what we're looking at. You can look at your holdings every once in a while to kind of see your total. Where's my total dividend yield? Where is my total profit at? You can look at these, click on some of these and see, which is something we are about to do. So I'll hold off real quick and let me click over to our investment terms. Where we're at this week is, I've said it a few times. Some of you probably know, some of you probably guessed, but in a simple point, where are we at with this dollar cost averaging term? All right, so in a nutshell, just read this definition, textbook definition. Dollar cost averaging is an investment strategy where you invest the same amount of money on a regular schedule, regardless of whether the price of the investment is rising or falling. Sounds like our strategy, right? So, simple explanation, instead of waiting for the perfect time, which is, you've heard a lot of people say, buy low, sell high, and all of that. Well, when do you know when the low is going to be? When do you know when the high is going to be? When do you know? And a lot of us have the knowledge or the tools or the time to wait for that perfect example of when to do that. So when you just average over a period of time, I've seen it done that way. I've seen it where you only wait for that perfect moment. And what people don't realize is, while you're waiting, that money isn't earning anything. Second you buy that share, it starts earning. So that time of that money making money for you over that time versus waiting for that perfect drop, you're going to make money in the long run, right? So I can sit here and explain this, but I'll put this in here so that you can see that right there, so you can read all of these. I'll put these investment terms in here on the sheet so you can go and read of them. But yeah, so you're going to see your average right there of the number of shares that you're getting. So each day, like I was saying, if you're buying $100 every day, if it's $20, you buy 0.20 shares. If the ETF drops to 0.80, you're buying 0.25 shares. Okay, so right now I'm talking about, hey, it's low. We're buying low. We're buying at a discount. That's what I'm meaning right there. So when the price drops, as long as it's not consistently over time, just nothing but dropping, then, hey, that might cause other problems. But, you're still going to be buying the dip, as what we say. So really why this matters for us is going to be, it really helps investors stay consistent. You're not trying to get in here at the perfect time of the day. It removes some of the pressure of the timing the market. Like I said, it's a lot of these people that can sit there and chart the markets and all of that and predict what it's going to. It's an educated guess. There are some people that argue on that. Go ahead. I'm not going to waste my time arguing with you. You do you. I'll do me. And this is big. This main strategy is for beginners. I am not an expert. I just wouldn't say that I'm a beginner either. I've been investing for a little over 10 years now. Bought a few houses with my investing and rolled that into other stuff. Got businesses that I'm now rolling into stocks. About to do a more complicated strategy where I'm opening a corporate account as my cash reserve account and doing different strategy like that. Which one day I might, once I get it going and all set up, I might show you all that as well. But it definitely is helpful. A lot of investing is psychological based, emotional based. So when you're just like, hey, I'm setting it, I'm forgetting it, boom, 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 you don't have to worry about the emotional decision behind that. Did I do that right? Did I do that right? No, it doesn't matter. So you really want to have that. So it helps investors gradually build ownership over time. So every time you buy a little bit of share, you're buying a little bit, and that's scaling over a period of time. So key takeaways there. It really focused on the investing consistently rather than trying to predict. That's our goal. This is our whole strategy. So to give you a visual of that, I love this Snowball Analytics tool for that. I'm just going to click on TSI. Actually, TSI is a manual, so you can see the dots are spaced a little farther out of when we buy. So you can see there's a buy. So you can hover over your with your mouse. Don't hover over your mouth. It's not going to do anything. 1.537 shares bought at $16.2685 per share. This day, we spent $1 and we got 3.083 shares. This right here is 0.3 of a share. 0.3 of a share. Actually, sorry, I think that was the old. I don't know where that came from, June 28th. That wasn't this. That was something else. I don't know how that's getting mixed up in there. 0.3. Oh, I think that's when we transferred. Sorry about that one. So you can see the average is about 3.03, $16 per share. As you can see, now the price is coming down. So 3.25, and then we'll see this next week go through, and this big dip, that next dot will be right around here. So as we buy the dip, we're going to lower this average right here. A better example of this would be pick one that we buy daily. Coney is a daily buy. This is one of our automated ones, our automated reoccurring ones. You see a lot more dots because we're buying every day. So we buy the dip, it raises, we buy the dip, here we go, 19, what is this one, 20, what is this one, 19, 1966, 20. So you can see there's the max we've bought, 21, 27. There's the minimum we've bought, 18, right here. It was this day, 1891. So we're averaging. So here we go. Something's glitched right here. I don't know how they're getting our average as 24.85 per share. So there's a glitch right here. I'm sure we can sync up, put into tech support or something, but that's not right because we don't have anything above that. So, but other than that, we can see where our average is. This is a beautiful visual aid in what is dollar cost averaging. So here we rock and roll. Here we go. Snowball's not doing a good job of selling their accuracy on their tool here, so hopefully they'll fix that quickly for them. But either way, once you know what you're looking at, you can kind of look at this and go, yeah, there's no way our average cost per share is way up here when we're down here. So we're doing rock and roll, but it also sees where the daily average of the market is, how we can see it's going up and down, so we're doing all right there. That is a good visual of dollar cost averaging. We're seeing every day we're putting $1 to work. When we get those dividends that keep coming in, and those go in even more, that's just more money going to work. Every time we got $1 going in for that week, that's another $1 going to work for us that week. So, fantastic. The coolest thing about every one of these little dots, automation. It automatically did it for us. We didn't have to get in here. You didn't have to get in front of your computer. You got to go live your life, go work for your money while your money is working for you. And that's what we want. So that's the big strategy that we're sticking to, letting our money work for us while we're out working for our money until we have enough money working for us to live off of, to hit our goal, to retire. Cash flow is how we retire. So I appreciate y'all's time. Please feel free to comment if you have any questions. I'll do my best to answer those or point you to a video where I find someone might answer that better, as I don't try to lead y'all to, hey, I have all the answers. I am sharing with y'all what I've learned from other people, and that's what I encourage y'all to do. Go learn from other people. Go read the stock books, the how to invest, all of that. Surround yourself with those people that know more, and that's how you're going to grow. So without anything else, I appreciate it. Let's rock and roll. I hope we have another great week. I hope y'all have a good week, and thanks for your time.